My sister sent me a text message and I didn't even see this shit. Damn, this ankle makes me look fat. Or either this shirt. I don't know. It is what it is. I ain't fat though. Oh, that's cute. I'm about to see who is here and we're gonna get started. Um, I did find the article. Let me make sure I turn the volume off. Whoever the four people are in the chat, you guys can drop down. I'm not into that fighting people and stuff, so you don't have to hide yourselves here. Hopefully, some of my um, moderators will show up while I'm waiting for a few of my moderators to um, come into the chat. Let me try to find the article because I think I posted it on my community wall. Hey Amber, so we can so I can let you guys know what I'm talking about. So there is a YouTuber in this sector by the name of Rita, and if I'm not mistaken, Rita has changed her YouTube name, but it used to be Rita the Baddest Roaster, and her daughter, who is 19 years old, no, 21 years old, La Brea Watson, is missing, and it has went to the news outlets. Channel 2 News is posting it on their website. So I don't know if her name is pronounced La Brea or La Brea Watson, out of Baltimore, Maryland. 21 years old. She is the daughter of Rita, the Baddest Roaster. I'm going to just call her by the name that um, she, you know, is known to me on YouTube. So there are a lot of content creators speaking out about the situation, and I just wanted to come on and let my subscribers know basically what is going on so that we can also um, put some positive energy in our prayers. I mean, whichever one you choose to do, if you just choose to send her positive energy, that's fine. Or if you choose to pray, that's fine for Rita in the return of her daughter. There is a lot of speculation. Like, I really didn't realize how evil some of the people in this little small sector of YouTube is, because this sector of YouTube is just a spot on the greater whole of YouTube. Us 20 or so black people that are in this sector of YouTube, this is just a little teeny tiny spot on YouTube compared to how big YouTube is, and we can't get along. There's a lot of speculation. I don't really want to go into um, speculation because when things are done wrong, you know, My mama used to always say, what don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. So if something is done wrong or something is done underhanded, it it will be taken care of. But you have people on here literally saying that they don't care about this woman's child who is missing. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. When my son, I think, was 14, he decided, unbeknownst to me, that he was going to go to Hot August Nights in Reno, Nevada. And we live in Oakland, California. At the time, we did. 14 years old. And I guess his best friend's brother, who was an adult, who was 21, um, you know, was telling them about what it was like, what Hot August Nights was like, because my son has always loved cars to the point where he is a mechanic now for Ford. Always loved cars. So he made up in his mind that he was going to go with his buddy, come hook or come crook. And he knew not to ask me, could he go? Because the answer was going to be no. For one, I don't know this boy. I don't know his family. I don't know his 21-year-old brother. And I don't want you riding up to Reno with some people that I don't know. So, of course, the answer was going to be no. So he didn't ask me. He just left. I didn't know where he was. I didn't know, I had no clue um, where he could have been. He just didn't come home from school that day. I think it was like a Friday. He didn't come home from school that day. And I was so worried. Like, I knew where, I would drop him off sometime to his friend's house or whatever, the kids that didn't live that far from where we lived or where I had picked him up. He'd call and I would go over to his friend's house and pick him up. Like, I knew where they lived, so I went around there and then, the kids weren't hanging out or whatever. My son's scooter was at the house, and that's how you used to, really get around was on this gas powered scooter. Like, all the kids in the neighborhood had these scooters. And so the scooter was at the house, and I thought that was, weird. Um, I caught up with his girlfriend at the time. They went to the same school. So I was asking her, had she heard from him? And she was like, no. I've been calling him too, and he's not answering. Then I thought that was weird. Like, he not even answering her. Like, what is going on? So she called me and was like, I don't know if she said she think that he's in, that he went to Reno with his friends. And I was like, no, he wouldn't do that. And she was like, I think he did. So I said, well, do you know where, this boy lives? I'm going to go around there and knock on the door of the house. So she was like, yeah. So we went around there, and yeah, that's where they were. The boy's other brother came to the door and said, yeah, they all went to Reno, all including my child. So I had been looking for him for hours, going around to everybody, where I thought he was, where they hung out at the park and all these places. looking for him, and this boy then got in a car with some 20-year old or 21-year old, however, and a bunch of other people and went to Reno. So later on that evening, he called and apologized and was like, I'm okay, we're fine. The young man um, got on the phone and was like, my brother is here. He's the same age as Hakeem. I'm not going to, let anything happen to, the kids and stuff. They're just out here having a good time. But it was the fact that you snuck him. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was so mad. I cannot is going through not knowing where her daughter is. At least within a couple of hours, I knew where my child was. But I think it's been 3 days, and they haven't heard anything. And you have people here on YouTube saying stuff like they don't care, they think it's a scam, or, you know, they think something else is going on. Whatever is going on, if it is a scam, that will be taken care of also. I just don't understand how people can follow people that are so evil. Like Sean Bradley is on here talking about he don't care. If she was on fire, he would just, like, I couldn't even say some of the stuff that, as a human, I don't like killing insects. I mean, the only way that I will really kill them is if I feel like they're getting too close to me. But I still, in my heart, be like, God, I wish I didn't have to kill it. Or I wish I wasn't so scared of spiders, or, that type of thing. But to say if I saw another human on fire, I wouldn't even I wouldn't even try to help them. And this is a person that has subscribers that follow him like he is God. This is how people end up being in cults and die and drink Kool-Aid. This is how it happens. This is exactly how it happens. I watch how some people get so tied up in celebrities, fake celebrities. Like, you just popping in this sector of YouTube. Like, no one knows you in real life. Nobody outside of you. Like, I can't take these 10,000 subscribers and go nowhere in the world and be like, I got 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. People be like, and don't nobody know me in the real world but my family. The people that really know me, the people that really love me, those are the only people that know me. Speaking of don't nobody know me, last night I saw a video of Offset. I'm on a tangent this morning, so just roll with me. I saw a video of Offset getting pulled over by the police, and I guess he was detained, um, basically arrested, because they did pull him out his car and I guess take him down to the station. He was able to get out. But when they were in the process of arresting him, he was like, do you know who I am? I'm Offset from the Migos. Sir, no one cares. To the police, you're just another black man. being offset from the Migos, it don't matter. I'm offset from the Migos. So he couldn't just say I'm offset. He had to say I'm offset from the Migos. He couldn't say I'm offset, I'm Cardi B's husband, or I'm offset from the Migos. Like, I don't know one Migos song. What do the Migos sing? Are they mumble rappers? But I'm not in their demographic, right? But let's go back to Rita, because that's what this video is about. So we do have some YouTube content creators who, like myself, are making videos, just trying to get the word out there that this young lady is missing. She has not, um, hey Tiptoe, she has not been heard from, and Rita is scared. Rita, and people are upset because Rita is online, you know, trying to defend herself. Because instead of people coming online being supportive of her, people are online kicking her while she's down. Just running up, like they used to do in high school. Somebody would put that kick me sign on your back, and you don't even know that you don't even know what's going on because the sign is on your back. So people are just running up, kicking Rita in the back while she's down. She just getting kicked from all kind of people. And I know that Rita has been in this perpetual cycle with a lot of these other YouTubers where they have been fighting for years. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys. They just fight for generations for no reason. Like, at this point, I don't think any of these people even realize how all of these feuds started between them. They just love to fight. So they continuously fight each other. So, a lot of people feel like Rita shouldn't be online. Rita should. But if you're that type of person and you're so used to defending yourself and you want to defend yourself, when you hear people saying really rude things about you, you want to defend yourself. She can't help getting on YouTube lashing out. Like, right now, she hurt. This woman can't find her daughter. Her daughter is missing. Do you stupid people not understand that? Of course she's gonna lash out. She gonna lash out. Her daughter is missing. It's her child. This is her first child that she birthed into this world is missing. And you idiots, you want something?
No. Huh? No.
Oh,
I'll get your toy.
I didn't want you to feel like y'all can't stay.
No, I wanted to put some stuff in the garage. And we were coming through that way. He came over here and brought his toy. Come on. Get toy.
Oh, babe, wipe that toy off because he dropped it in the dirt and those things were on it.
Okay.
Um, Moth Mama, if you're late, Lala is missing. Uh, Lala, I guess, didn't show up for work Friday, and she didn't call in, which they saying is very odd for her. And she, they've been trying to contact her by phone. They can't reach her. They don't know where she is. Rita has contacted the police. The police in Baltimore are involved, so this is an active case. This is an active missing person case. This real. And if it's not real, that will be dealt with. But we have to treat this like it's real. Like, what happened to All of that Black Lives Matter stuff we was just screaming a couple of months ago. Here's another chance for you to be Black Lives Matter. What what happened? Y'all lost that momentum? You guys never cared about each other, half of y'all. It's a shame. Timothy Blaine said, sorry I had to read a info wrong. What info did you have wrong? Let me speak to y'all. Hey Amber. Hey T Shetty 8181. Hey Keisha. Hey Lil Mama. Moth Mama. Reese's Pieces 88. Um so yeah, Rita's daughter is missing. They have no idea um where she is. The Baltimore police um, are involved, and you have the idiots like Phi Babe and Sean Bradley um, basically on here saying stuff like they don't care. And I really don't. I wouldn't expect Sean Bradley to care because Sean Bradley is, no matter how many of those feminine, um, no matter how many of them stupid, exaggerated non feminine traits he tries to exude, he's still not a woman. So he has no idea what it feels like to be a mother, and he never will. Okay? Never. It's not many people in this world that I can really say that I thoroughly dislike. I don't like to use the word hate because you can always find something decent in a person. So I have really tried to train my mind not to say that I hate a person, but I strongly dislike him. Strongly. I strongly dislike the persona that Sean Bradley is showing here on YouTube. I can't say that that's his real persona because I don't know this man from a can of paint. But the persona that he shows people, I strongly dislike. Strongly. Because this woman is hurt. And when you get hurt, you will lash out. You will do things that you would not normally do. You will say things out of anger that you would not normally say. Rita is stressed out right now. She is liable to do and say anything. Her child is missing. You will do anything when you're hurt. And I don't care about Rita's past. I don't care about any of that. She is still a mother and she still loves her child. If the lighting changes, it's because it's kind of like overcasty um, here today. I'm sitting outside, but I am sitting in the gazebo. So the lighting is probably going to change from time to time. Cookie Head Jenkins said he didn't care about his own kids. Well, those weren't his kids. Those were foster children. Those weren't his kids. None of those kids were his. Those were foster kids. Those were somebody else's kids that he talked trash about. Moth Mama said, I would tear the world apart looking for my girl. I was driving all over East Oakland looking for my son. That boy done stressed me out looking for him and he in Reno. That must be terrifying for Rita and her family. And I have read and heard the rates of missing black people is quite high in the Maryland area. We pray for her safe return. See, I hadn't heard that. And the last that I heard is that there was a ransom. Someone had contacted Rita and said that they wanted $7,000. Now, I didn't hear it from Rita's video, and I'm not going to lie. I don't watch Rita. I don't watch her videos because her videos are just is too much for me. A lot of these people I don't watch. I stopped watching Sean Bradley. The only reason why I watched it is because I wanted to see was he going to, say something positive about the situation. And of course, he didn't. I don't even know why I expected him to say anything positive about the situation. Why did I expect positivity from, I don't know. Hi, Tammy. I don't know why I even thought that he would be able to bring a level of positivity to this situation. But what's sad is he has an entire platform. His people are club chat. Now they can sit up and dox people and find out where they live, where they work, call people's apartment complexes and pull up pictures of their houses and stuff. But you can't pull those resources together to help Rita find her child. You got Club Chat, you got Babe Nation. Y'all can't come together for one time to help redefine her child. You found out where Tracy lived, where Jay Wilson lived, where everybody else lived. Post pictures on YouTube of people's backyards, their houses, the front yard, what car they drive, who their mama was, what their mama looked like when she was in her casket, and all kind of stuff. But you can't pull those same resources together to help redefine her child. Y'all can't come together to do some good, but y'all can fight each other and call each other the dirtiest of names. But you can't come together to help redefine her child? My lips are dry. Y'all can't do that? Y'all can't help Rita? Y'all would rather sit back and laugh at Rita and call her all kind of names and stuff instead of helping this woman find her child? This is her child. Like 5'8" is online last night talking about, oh, well, let me go take care of my child because this could never happen to me. You don't know what is in your future, sweetheart. Your daughter is 8 years old. You don't know what your daughter is going to start doing by the time she's a teenager. I never thought that my 14-year-old son would decide to go with his friends to Reno and not tell me because it was that important to him to see some damn cars. I never thought that would happen, but it did. You don't know what your kids will do when they become teenagers. You don't know what direction your children will decide to turn when they become teenagers. You don't know how their brain will mature and start to function once they become teenagers. When your kids are young, of course, you have all the control. Get away from me. You have all the control in the world for them. You know where they are at bedtime. You know where they are when it's time to eat because they at home with you. When they become teenagers and they start ripping and running these streets, shout out to my mama. Today is her birthday in heaven. We love you, Lucille Williams, with all of my heart, and I hope that you are having a great time. But shout out to my mama with the ripping and the running. You don't know what your teenagers are going to do. When you have an 8, 7, 6, a tiny tot who is dependent on you for everything, of course you know where they are when it's time to go to bed. They in their room, where they supposed to be. But when they get 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, you're not going to have a clue half the time where they are because you can send them to school and your child could be anywhere. I ran up on my child one time. I was going to the bank. My son had got dressed, got up. The youngest child of mine, all this gray hair, that's from him. He had got up that morning and they would catch the bus to school. So he had got up that morning, got dressed and everything his regular time like he was going to school. And, you know, it was normal. So that was like 8 something. He left the house like he normally does to catch the bus at because the bus came at a certain time to go up the hill. So around 11 o'clock, I said, well, let me run over here to the bank. And I used to like to go to this donut shop that was close to the bank and get these croissants. So I went over there to the bank and I happened to look across the street, which was a bus stop, and it was like a Sabelle's Pizza. A lot of kids always hung out right there because that was one of the bus stops that went up the hill to the school also, but not the one where my son should have been. Mind you, my son left at like 8 something in the morning. It's 11. And, I happened to look across the street and I'm like, that can't be my son. I saw this red and white checkered shirt that my son had. And I looked down and see my son would he was one of them matchy kids. Everything had to match. The hat, the shirt, the pants, the shoes, all of this. He was very coordinated. Very Oshuni like child, of course. His mama is Oshun. Very matchy. He's still matchy, and he's 30 years old. I look across the street and it looked like my son. I said, that can't be him. It's 11 o'clock. Why would that boy be standing over there with a bunch of other kids? So here go mama. I'm in my stealth mode. I done walked up on him. He didn't even see me coming because he had his back to the street. And at this time, this boy was taller than me. I walk up on him, and this show you how dirty your friends be. Your friends, his friends saw me coming. They ain't said nothing. I walked right up on him, and I know they knew that I was his mother because we look exactly alike. He had dreads, I had dreads, and we both got the same pie face. So I walked right up on him, right up on his back, and touch him on the back, and he jumped and turned around, and honey, when he saw me, all the blood drained from his face, all of it. He turned white as a ghost, and he lighter than me, so it didn't take much. He, I said, "What you doing?" Don't worry about it. Come on, let's go. The car over here. Oh no, I'm gonna get to. No, you're not. You gonna get in this car. You gonna walk over here with me, and you gonna get in this car, and we gonna go on up here to the schoolhouse. I said, now the rest of y'all kids need to get on that bus and go on up to the schoolhouse. I don't know y'all, and you better be glad I don't, because I'll be calling all your mamas and daddies and telling them that you're standing out here in front of this pizza place. And I don't know if my son was in his mind, thought, should I try her? For a split second, I could see the wheels of his brain turning. Like, should I try her in front of my friends? And I think his brain must have said, I don't think you should do that. That might not because she already mad. You you probably shouldn't. And he gave in and went with me to the car. So you don't know what your kids will do. Fabe, you blessed that Leah is still young. You have a young child. So of course you should know where she is at night and where she is all the time. But when your Leah precious princess, as you call her, turns 21, you don't know what she's going to do. I've done things at 20, 19, 18 that my mama don't know. And I wouldn't have never told her that I did it because, I didn't want to scare her. Even though I survived. And all of this, oh, what my daughter would never, I'm taking care of my daughter. You not a good mother and you this and you blah blah this. We're gonna revisit this conversation in what, 12 years? Shit, when my kids was 8 and 9 years old, yeah, I knew where they was every moment because they were kids. I can't tell you where either one of my kids is right now. I know what city they live in. My son sent me a text message Friday and said, "Hey, I'm not going to have Amani because I'm going out of town." That was the end of the text message. He's 30 years old. I don't know where out of town is. He could be anywhere. He could be in Timbuktu for all I know. I don't know where he is, but he's an adult. As a parent, after your kids get a certain age, you don't know where they are 24/7. Now, I trust that my son is grown. He's 31. I don't know how old he is. I think he's 31. Yeah. He's 31 years old. I trust that wherever he is, he's, taking care of himself. But I don't know where he is. Now, I could call him and say, hey, your text message you said you were going out of town. Where is out of town? Don't text me and just say I'm going out of town. Say, hey, mom, I'm going to Vegas or I'm going to LA or, whatever. But you don't know everything about your kids. My other son, that's a bee. Get away from me. Okay, I think I'm all right. I don't like bees. Okay, get away from me. My oldest son, he's in his 30s also. I have no idea where he is. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's in Oakland. He lives in Oakland, but I don't know where. The, girl, bees love me, but I don't like them. The flowers are, um, the flowers are blooming still back here. I don't know if these bloom all year. I don't know if you guys can see them right there. I don't know if they bloom all year or what, but they're still blooming. And so, of course, we're going to get bees and um, hummingbirds and, all kind of little flying things out here, dragonflies, and it'll be all kind of stuff back here um, in the yard. And, I don't like them. Get away from me. Um, so, you have no idea what your kids are going to do when they're grown. You just don't. When they're 19, when your kids turn 18, they want a different level of freedom. And I guess it's different for, my experience with children is going to be totally different than Phi Babe's experience with children because her child is so young. I done been through this the whole gamut from birth to my kids now in their 30s. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like when your kids become teenagers and start to want to pull away from you. They don't want you to hold them as tight. So, Five A, yeah, you know where your child is now because she little. You should know where she is. And, Rita has had some problems with her children. This daughter wasn't living with Rita, she was living with Rita's mother. Rita's mother is, taking care of Lala. The only reason why I know a lot of this stuff that, has gone on with Rita is because some of this stuff has played out on YouTube. Lala and Rita, they had some words on YouTube. The grandmother, got in, tried to, the whole situation did seem somewhat dysfunctional. But we all have dysfunctional relatives. All of us do. I came from a dysfunctional family. My mother was an alcoholic. I'm not ashamed of that. My mom didn't raise me. My aunt adopted me. I'm not ashamed of none of that. I'm not ashamed of any part of my history. My mother gave me what she could. Rita gave her children what she could. You can't pour from an empty cup. If your cup is not full, you can't give. And we don't all come here with the same level. We don't all have the same level of maturity. We don't all have the same level of spirituality. We don't all have the same level of intelligence. We don't. But that does not mean that Rita does not love her daughter. Because my mother was an alcoholic and gave me up, it didn't mean that she didn't love me. She still continued to love me. She still continued to want to see me. She wanted to see her grandchildren. Of course, she wanted me to be educated, to be intelligent, to be successful. All of those things you still want for your kids. Just because I can't raise you or you choose at a certain age that you don't want to live with me anymore, you want to, live with your grandmother does not mean that I'm going to stop loving you. I just feel for Rita because not only is she having to, look for her daughter, she's having to defend herself on the court of YouTube. And it's sad. It just really sucks. Moss Mama said once they hit puberty, it's a whole other situation than when they're cute. Look, girl. Once these boys, you have boys, once they start chasing these girls and looking at girls in a different way, them hormones will force them to do things that you never thought that they would do. Puberty will, in some cases drive kids crazy. The hormones, and then when kids start, when their hormones start to rage, like my oldest son, he had a hormonal imbalance to the point where he started to get angry and not understand how to control his anger, how to, verbalize. Instead of being able to communicate what was going on, he would just, kind of spaz out. All related to the way his hormones were trying to regulate themselves as a teenager. And a lot of parents don't have training in early childhood development to see that something, to pick up those cues with your child, that something, may not be going on correctly, and getting your child some help instead of lashing out at the child and wanting to beat them or punish them. you know, your child will send certain cues, but if you don't understand that they're sending cues, that there's, something that just is not quite right there, you'll just think that the child is just acting out and it's just a bad child and you just have to beat them. No, sometimes there are hormonal imbalances and chemical imbalances in your child that need to be dealt with by a doctor and not by a belt. And thank God I had went to college, and um, a lot of my training was in early childhood development, and I was seeing some things in my son, and you know started to get him some therapy around those things. Now, a lot of black people, that is part of our problem. We don't believe in therapy. A lot of us don't believe in getting any help. We rather just beat the hell out of our child, and you know think that that's going to fix it, and it's not. If there's something going on with your child on a hormonal or a chemical or biological standpoint, you can beat them till days get better, and they still gonna act like that. But some of y'all don't understand that. Chester the Zester, one of the content creators named Rita, her 21-year-old daughter is missing. Um, I think she hasn't been seen since Friday. She hasn't called in to work. She hasn't been at work. Her phone is dead, so they can't find her. And instead of people here on YouTube, not all people, but some of the people who have larger platforms who can reach more people, instead of them being helpful, they are bashing the mother. That's it. That's what is going on here on YouTube. Because I did listen to a little bit. I refused to watch Five Babes video, but I did listen to a little bit of the snippets that Timothy Blaine posted on his channel yesterday. Oh my God, why is there so many bugs out here? Is that an ant? I don't know, but whatever it is, you got to die. You shouldn't even came over here. Who told you to come over here? Don't run up on me. You run up on me, I'm gonna kill you. That's that. I'm tired of y'all now. After I just said that I be trying not to kill these, but you came to my space. This is my personal space, okay? So y'all need to find someplace else to go while I'm sitting out here. Leave me alone. Don't come over here. Um, so instead of trying to come together and help Rita in this time, they are bashing her. I can imagine not knowing where my daughter was, because when things like this happen, our minds will always go to the worst. Our minds will slip into the worst situation. You know what I mean? Like our minds won't just say, "Oh well, she's with her boyfriend, and when she gets finished, she will call." And no, that's not where our minds will take us. Our minds will take us to a dark place because when our minds can't fill in the gap, it's like it has a default dark place to fill in. Our minds will not fill in the gap with rainbows and unicorns. It just doesn't. It fills in the gap with something extremely negative and ugly. So I do want to um that's what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping, Chester, that she just needed some time. She was just upset, and maybe something happened that they're not saying, and she was just upset and she just needed some time. She just like, forget it, I'm just run away for the weekend, and Monday or tonight she'll pop up and be ready for work tomorrow. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, even me, there have been times when I was a little kid and I did have the best life when I was little after my aunt adopted me. Like, I lived like a little princess for real. But even in that, there were times when I was like, I'm leaving. And it was because I was so spoiled that when my mom would say no, I would really get offended. Like, how dare you say no? You really said no? I'm going to pack my suitcase and I'm leaving. And my mother would be like, well, leave then. You want me to help you? So I had my little suitcase and I would throw in a couple of books, and I don't know. I was so childish, but I was like 8 or 9 years old. I would throw in a couple of books, and I didn't realize how heavy that suitcase would get when I would throw those books in there and a doll and some random stuff. And I never made it past the backyard. I never made it past the back steps with that heavy suitcase. I would just sit on the back steps and pull one of those books out and just sit there and read. And eventually, my mom would come out with a sandwich and some Kool Aid and sit that down and be like, okay, when you're ready to come back in, the door is open. And I would sit there and eat that ham sandwich and contemplate my little 8-year-old life and where I had went wrong in my little 8 years of being on this earth. Rita, I am praying for you, sweetheart, because I can't even imagine not knowing. Because yesterday I was like, so my son really could have, when he sent me that text message, he could have said, hey, mom, I'm going to LA, or I'm going to Vegas, or whatever. I hate when someone just says, I'm going out of town. Where? Where? Okay, me and my son, do we live in the same city? No, we actually don't. We actually don't live in the same city. but these cities are so close together. My son lives 6 minutes from me, and that just shows how close the cities in this area are. So we don't live in the same city. So out of town could be anywhere. Out of town here in where we are, you could be in San Francisco. That's out of town. That's across the bridge. He could be in LA. He could be in Vegas. He could be in Reno. He could be in Tahoe. He could be anywhere. Anywhere is out of town. But because that message was so vague, I have no idea where he is. And that crossed my mind yesterday when he sent me that text message. That crossed my mind. I know that he's okay because I heard from him. He at least let me know that he was going out of town. So I heard from him. Rita did not hear from her daughter. Her daughter left and she has no idea when she will be back. Now I know my son will be back tonight unless he took off work tomorrow because my son is about his money. He don't normally take off work. Now I'm gonna call him tonight and be like, "Hey, you good? You made it back?" Now if I don't hear from him tonight, I'll be like, "Okay, well, maybe he got in late and he's tired, turned his phone off so he could be up by tomorrow." Now I'm gonna call him tomorrow, and if I don't hear from him tomorrow, I'll be calling that Ford dealership to see is he at work, because that's how mothers brains react. As a mother, that's how your brain be turning. So I know Rita is tripping. I saw that Chester. That's I talked about that a little earlier. It I didn't see the whole video, but I did hear her kind of saying that the people are asking for $7,000. I'm just hoping that all of this is going through the police, is going through the channels that it should be going through. I hate the fact that, Rita is online talking more than what I feel she should be talking. But who am I to tell someone how much they should and should not be talking during this time? She can't help but talk. She is scared. She is um, all over the place. Um, let me see, because I saw it too. I'm gonna tell you where it's at, Moth Mama, because Rita changed her channel. Let me see. She okay. So her channel is now five, the number five, a star general is a lot. Let me see. Okay. It's the number five, star general, hashtag be more Rita. That's her channel now. that's where Rita is uploading her videos. And so you can go there. And there are other people. Rick Reed did a video. And, okay, so Troy Allen just did a video where he's saying that Lala has been located and held for a $7,000 ransom. So, I don't know. This story is crazy. So, Rick Reed did a video. Timothy Blaine did a video. Who else was I looking at? Um, Someone named Diamond Ring Dory has been live this morning doing videos. A lot of people are doing videos. Duchess Kelly Love did a video. A lot of people are doing videos. And, I don't know what's going on. If I can be of help, you know, I, of course, want to send out good energy and prayers for Rita because I would want somebody to do it for me. And I have a video that I'm going to do separate to this. I have a story time that I want to tell you guys about Gizmo, but I want it to be its own standalone video. So I just want you guys to say a prayer for. I know that this is going to take forever to upload. My fingernails look horrible. I got to do something with them today. I wanted to just try out that holographic polish. I probably should have put a top coat. You can't see the color change. It does change colors. I mean, it is a cute polish. It should have been for $10. I am so cheap. I don't pay that kind of money for a fingernail polish. It was over $10, I think. Plus, I had to pay for shipping and all of that kind of stuff, child. I don't be paying that kind of money for no dang on fingernail polish. Yeah, Gizmos, he's okay now, but this is going to be an interesting video that, um, yeah, my nails do look good when I do them. They just need to be done because they like chipping and peeling and So I'm gonna work on that today while my husband is watching the football game because the Raiders play today. So after a while, we ain't gonna see him or Gizmo because Gizmo has taken his little pillow and gone to the man cave to watch football. Is that a lint ball? Oh no, that's just a dread. No, that's just my hair. Hmm. Get down in there. In there somewhere. I need to wash my hair. I said I was gonna put my wig on. I might do that later on because I ain't got nothing else to do. So, hi, Sand Crowder. So y'all say a prayer for Rita. I'm gonna get off here and do my hair. I'm about to put my wig on because I got two videos I gotta film, and I might do my makeup and put my wig on so I can do these videos. Look like the only place that I'm gonna be able to film is on this side of the house because our room is on okay, this is the back of the house. So our room is on the front of the house. And the Wi-Fi is horrible in the front. which is weird. Um, because if I had stayed in the house, we would have lost reception like 50, 11 dozen times. So we're gonna have to figure out something because winter is coming, and I'm definitely not gonna be coming out here once the wind starts to blowing and stuff. Look like it's a few boats out on the bay. Not a whole lot, but there's a few of them out there. The water is super calm. The water is calm. No white caps. So I'm gonna go in the house. I'm gonna watch Troy's video and see what he said because this is getting crazy if it's a $7,000 ransom for this young lady. Because once a ransom is involved, then won't the FBI pick the case up? Because doesn't that then um, go farther than the regular police's jurisdiction if there's a ransom in the case? I'm not sure. I've never, because then isn't it considered kidnapping? Or something in my shoe. I got my little gibbets. What is that? I don't know what that is. But I got my little gibbets for my Crocs. So I'm going in the house. I wonder, are those little balls on the rose, those little bulb things, is that where the rose comes out? Or is that what happens when the flower dies? I need to look that up because it's interesting. Because they look like little tomatoes or something. And I know that's not a tomato plant, it's a rose bush. But those little bulb things on there, I don't know. I need to look it up. Um, that's all I got. Watch Rick Reed's video and watch some of the other videos that have come out about this subject. Those are rose hips. The little ball things are called rose hips. The little things that look like tomatoes, that look like little cherry tomatoes, those are called rose hips. And so I don't know anything about um, growing flowers. Now, if it was succulents, I could tell you about it. But flowers, roses, I know absolutely nothing about them. So is that what it is? I know y'all like, we don't know what you're talking about. Like, those are rose hips. $7,000 is a weird amount. Yeah, it is. This whole situation is weird though. But when I heard it's on the end of the stem where the flower was, yeah, I'm about to show you. Because every time I come out here, I'll be looking like, what is that? See that? Those things right there. And see, that's where the road. You guys see them? I think so. Can't tell where the camera is aiming. But it's where the rose used to be, I think. I'm going to look it up If that's what a rose hip is, I'm gonna look it up because I like roses. Could you guys see it? Or did the camera go off? Because it looked like it went off for a minute. It's getting hot. The sun is moving over to where I'm sitting. She said they are high in vitamin C. Really? Oh Lord, I just heard something fly over here. Yeah, the sun is starting to, and I got on these pants. I don't, these black pants. It's warm out here. I don't know if y'all can see my little leg. I'm so short. Let me see. What's the temperature out here? It's warmer out here than I thought. It's 62 degrees with a high of 74. I feel like it's warmer than 62. So, um, where's the chat? I'm gonna go so I can eat my breakfast, finish eating my breakfast, and do something to this hair. I gotta braid my hair so I can get it up under this wig and film this video, do my makeup, catch up on some of the other videos, and then I'll be back. So I love you guys. Thank you for coming. I hope that this video uploads and doesn't take forever to do that. And I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.